Hey everybody, it's Shakira. Welcome back to Glow Beauty Wellness here on YouTube. And I am inspired to create this video today because, I've been through a lot in my life concerning relationships, failed marriages, failed relationships, very hard lessons, painful lessons, heartbreaking lessons. And there was a time that I was so unconscious, like just moving through life, unconscious of my decisions, unconscious of the fact that my lack of consciousness was causing me to create the same situation over and over again, causing me to marry the same person in different forms, in a different physical form twice. And I got to a point, though, where I started to change the way that I was eating. This is when I started I went to nutrition school, and, I started to learn about the energetics of food, and I started to learn about meditation. I started to learn about breath work. I started to learn and I started to expand my consciousness. But the catalyst to that was, the chronic BV, the chronic yeast infection situation, which is why I started my channel, is to, help women understand how to heal that part of them. I have a vast library of videos on that on my channel. But, my decision to really change my physical health caused me to expand in other ways. Doing yoga, pushing myself outside of my comfort zone caused me to expand even more than I had already been, growing. But, allowing myself to, starting with the food and the wellness in that area allowed me to see that I wanted better for my life than the situations that I was in. And then to take it a step further, just the very tumultuous marriage, the second one, they both were very bad. And I'm not saying this to talk bad about anybody. We had to go through those experiences, and we had choices. We could either grow and expand, or we could continue to live, destructively and keep a destructive lifestyle that was, just going to break us both down and land us in jail or dead. And I'm not even exaggerating. We had a choice. I made a choice to leave and to work on myself and sit in the pain that I was dealing with. And that's the point of this video, is that if you want a different life, if you want a happy life, if you want to be in a functional relationship, some would say boring, that's not eventful, that's not drama filled and things like that. If that's what you want, but you are currently in a state of chaos and drama, you really have to sit with yourself and really unpack, how did I get here? And so that's what I did. I self-isolated. I left a toxic marriage, and, it was hard for me to do that. Even though it was not a good relationship, I thought I was in love. I thought it was love. But love is not pain. Love is not abuse. Love is none of those things. And I knew that, because I didn't feel good in it. You do not feel good in situations that are toxic and drama filled. You don't. People trick themselves into staying in situations that are dysfunctional for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody's different. Most of the time it's fear. I feel like it's fear of being alone. And that was my situation. Like, I feared how I was going to look, especially the second time, I feared what people thought. I feared leaving the situation and how bad it would be, what would happen, so on and so forth. There was a lot of fear, but I did it afraid. I left afraid, and the fuel for me was my children, because I was not going to raise them in, a toxic environment. And so I left and then went to work on myself. I sat in that feeling of failure. I sat in that feeling of embarrassment. I sat in that feeling of how, I just sat in the fear. I just sat in the fear, and I sat in the uncertainty. But I knew I had a vision in my mind because I had been working on myself as much as I could in that toxic situation. That's the other thing. You're only going to be able to do but so much work in a toxic situation. Work on yourself, because those habits are going to draw you back in. If you are with somebody that does not want you to expand, they're going to draw you back in. They're going to find a way to distract you. They're going to find a way to ruin the things for you that you are trying to create for yourself. That's their unconscious. You can't be worried about that. I had to be worried about myself. And this is where I adopted this selfish mindset, in that, not like, oh, you don't care about anybody, but you have to prioritize the things that you need to be the best version of yourself. And so I prioritize my needs so that I can be the best wife, so I can be the best mom, so I can be the best daughter, so I can be the best to myself, so I can be the best version of myself. I started to prioritize those things. So in sitting in the feeling of failure, the feeling of uncertainty, all of those feelings, that's when I was able to really sit with my thoughts and my feelings about myself, admit to myself that I was the cause of all of this shit that I was dealing with. And that's the truth. We never ask to be abused. Like, we don't meet somebody and say, hey, I really enjoy getting my ass beat. I really enjoy being called names. That's not how it works, right? But we get in these situations where two people are unconscious, and you accept one's bad behavior and then call it, oh, they just have trauma. Oh, they just this. Oh, you make excuses for poor behavior, when the fact is, when we react a certain way, when we mistreat ourselves and others, that's a call for you to do better and to do some work. And relationships are supposed to be, this is something that I've learned, that, the relationships help you become better, really help, kind of show you a mirror, help uncover and show where you still have work to do, and, but most people become triggered by the other, and the blame game starts. And I know this because I used to do it. Like, I, became physically violent because of, no. If somebody is mistreating you and they're triggering you to the point where you are reacting inappropriately, you need to remove yourself from that situation, period. If this person is toxic and unhealthy for you, you should not make excuses and decide, oh, it's going to stay. I love them. That's not love. That was a realization that I made, so I don't want to go down every realization that I had. The point of this video is for you to ask yourself, if you are not where you want to be in your relationship, in life in general, you really need to look at yourself. Like, if your life is a mess right now, instead of allowing the snowball to become bigger, you are one decision away from a better life. I just posted that in my Instagram story. And make sure you're following me on Instagram. But our lives are all about choices, and our choices compound, and we can either make choices that are going to benefit our lives and to improve our lives, or choices that are going to make shit worse. And I just felt like I was so down bad at that time. I was so it was like rock bottom for me. Like, this is just too much. I cannot do this. This is not what my life is going to look like. My life will not be a failure. My life will stand for something. I will stand for something, and I will make an impact that is positive. And for my sake, and for the last marriage, for her sake, for the safety for my kids, it had to end, and I had to grow, and I had to become better. I had to admit that I was the problem, because I was allowing, and all the other crap that was being done to me, that's not my problem, and that's not on me to fix and whatever like that. So you have a choice. We have choices in life. We can be a victim to our circumstance and situation. I could have, you know, I could have been, but I didn't want that. So the life that I'm living now is the life that I always wanted. The life that once I was expanding my mind and I was expanding my consciousness and reading and working on myself and realizing, I am the alpha and omega. I am the one that gets to say, this is the type of life that I'm living. This is what I get to experience because I want to. Because I have access to it. And so do you. So ask yourself, what is it that you are afraid of? Are you afraid to sit in the fear, in the failure, and the uncertainty? Shit, be a failure. I was a failure. If you're not failing, you're not learning. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But you can't be living this one life over here that's loving hip hop, fighting, you know, toxicity and all this crap, and want a real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You know, this is probably a bad analogy, but I'm just saying you can't be living a life of like a poverty mindset, right? And at the same time, like not doing any work to transition to the lifestyle, the luxury lifestyle that's full of love and full of all of the things that you want, that's full of expansion and growth, that has happy children existing, a nice clean home, the one that's on your vision board but you're not doing no work for. You know what I'm saying? The good food, the good love, the positive words that you're saying to your spouse and your spouse is saying to you. You can't live a love and hip hop lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, and really think that you're going to attain the Beverly Hills Housewives lifestyle. It doesn't work like that. Because when you get into those spaces with those people that have that type of consciousness, you are going to turn them off. They're going to know this person doesn't even belong here. They don't feel like they belong here. Or they don't feel like they deserve it. You have to get to a space where you know that you deserve healthy, happy love and a partner that's going to lift you up, not tear you down. So ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What is preventing you from expanding and becoming the best version of yourself? Sit in that feeling, ask yourself why, and allow the answers to come to you. Stop blocking the expansion. Invest in yourself. Buy some books, buy some meditations, purchase coaching, like do something to become better. If your funds are limited, start with YouTube. That's what I did. Oh my goodness, YouTube, free meditations. The I Am meditation by Paul Santisi was like my first subliminal meditation that fucking changed my life. I'm sorry to use curse words, but this is so important to me to help women understand you can live the life that you want. You can live a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale to others, right? And, you know, some people don't think that they can have the things that they want, but you absolutely can if you say no to everything else that is not in alignment with what you want. And you say yes to yourself. You say yes to getting better and better and better and expanding and expanding. And you say yes to the vision until the vision manifests on this 3D plane. I'm going to end the video here. We intend on going live tonight on Thursday, the April 18th. Share this video with somebody that needs to hear this message. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.